still some free agents out there that the Browns have been connected with, and in one of them, Jarvis Landry. Some news coming out. Browns still very much in the mix. There are a couple of other teams that are considered to be interested in Landry as well. Landry hopes to sign somewhere before the draft. That's only a couple of weeks away now. But, some of the names you've heard are the Saints. I'm sure, as you mentioned, the Packers, the Chiefs. Anybody that's looking for a wide receiver will be looking to see if Jarvis Landry is willing to take less than that $20 million that we heard, but certainly, still a decent-sized money as far as a free agent wide receiver goes.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's kind of an example of how weird this free agency period has been, how much, maybe this process for a lot of these guys has been halted by some of these crazy contracts, in particular the one that Christian Kirk got with the Jacksonville Jaguars when he got incredibly big money. And I think we're kind of seeing it play out now where it's kind of the holding pattern where, the player wants a certain amount of money. The team's only going to be willing to give him a certain amount, but how long before, they finally get to the happy medium and then value in this third or fourth wave of free agency really starts to sort itself out and become more realistic. And I think obviously if the Browns can get Jarvis Landry back and keep him for 2022, he could be obviously in a smaller role than he was in the last few seasons, where he doesn't have to be the number one guy. He could be the number 2 behind Amari Cooper or the number 3 behind Cooper and whoever they draft, or if they sign somebody else like Will Fuller. He's going to be in a lesser role, but his leadership is going to be important. The fact that he knows the offense would be helpful as well. There's a lot of good factors for Jarvis Landry and a potential for him to stay in Cleveland. And I think it seems like based off social media, that seems like that's kind of what he wants. It just kind of comes down to, as we usually see in free agency, how the money works itself out.
And it'll be, there are certain things you mentioned Fuller. Another one would be Clowney. So there's a number of ways that they have to divvy up the salary cap structure that they have left. And the other thing is Baker Mayfield's eaten up some of that as well. So all those things factor into dollar figures and when and if they can sign certain free agents.